Hey everybody, we're already in the talking mode. Welcome back to WTF FTW, and this is the podcast. This is the official place to go for the podcast.
Place to be.
Are we even recording? I feel like we're not. I don't see anything. We're back. We actually found out we were recording, so like
Oh, thanks for telling me we're back. By the way,
we're back. We're just back.
You got to tell me we're back before you tell the audience we're back.
We are back.
Ooh.
We are back now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really, really appreciate it.
This is going to be a high, intense, full, in-your-face episode of WTF, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking today about
WTF.
John McAfee, crypto,
yes,
and the amazing story that we have to tell you. Now, this is
we have to say
story.
rumored. We can't say.
We got to say it like this so that we're not liable for anything.
Right.
This is a story. Okay.
Which, I mean,
it could have non-fictional content in it. It could have fictional content in it. It could have no content whatsoever.
But we got it firsthand, at least from one of the parties. But yes, we got it firsthand from one of the parties.
Right. So this is a friend of a friend.
And she did have some proof, so we'll go in there.
This is a friend of a friend. So, and I feel like I have to state these things so that people don't get offended, especially John McAfee. If you were ever to listen to this particular podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to see John McAfee.
I don't want John McAfee on my doorstep.
I feel like he could murder you with... He's
John
like kind of
McAfee.
Chuck Norris in
He's
some ways.
very respected in the crypto world, and I didn't even know about this. I only knew John McAfee from McAfee Securities. Like, I know McAfee antivirus software on like every computer from 90 to like 102.
Yeah,
which would be 2002. But I remember McAfee that way. Well, this story was out of the blue for me when I heard this story. This was Christy's friend.
Yeah, so we invited my friend Gio over.
Yes, tell a little bit.
Yeah, I had a birthday gift for him that I wanted to give him, and I thought, let's hang out. And we're chilling out, we're drinking, we're talking, and fun time.
And he says, "Hey, he starts talking about his friends."
I don't know. You and I were talking, I think, first about crypto. Somehow we got on the Bitcoin and all that.
Right.
And
because we're just getting into Steam.
When Gio jumps in. He's like, "Oh, you guys, I have a story to tell you."
Yeah, I can't wait to tell you the story. Gio's like very animated.
And he is very animated, and very
boisterous.
Yeah, maybe boisterous is a word.
It is a word. Yeah. It's in the dictionary.
No, I mean it's a word, but I mean for him, funny man.
I know. But like, so he ends up telling us that his friend's friend. So this is actually So in my circumstance, this is a story that's a friend through a friend through a friend through a friend. So I'm four steps out. I'm almost Kevin Bacon.
When we start,
6 steps
we're almost
of Kevin Bacon.
Well, no, I think it really is 6. Steps to Gio Jones.
6 steps to Gio Jones.
Seriously,
because he knows everybody.
Because we have a friend who knows everybody. I mean, he literally
he knows a lot of people.
Connected to different social media and everything. We find out, oh, my one friend's connected to him somehow. It's just crazy how many people are connected. So he tells us the story that his friend started going out with a dude, and they ended up getting married. And No. What? The story started, and I can't remember where she...
Here comes the details.
Okay. So the story started... No. It was kind of a good story, because...
Okay, how'd the story start?
This start's crazy, too.
Right.
So I don't know where she was going to. What country did she go to on a trip?
I don't know.
So she goes on a trip somewhere, and I can't tell you where the trip is, but she's trying to come home.
It's the worst story.
No. Okay, so she takes a vacation on her own.
She meets this dude.
And no, she's coming. Yeah, she's coming home. This isn't the
story though. The story's McAfee.
No. Okay, we'll get there. This is pretty good,
We're going a long way around, children. Let's go. This is like Red Riding Hood going through the forest.
We gotta wait. Let me talk.
Go ahead. Oh shit.
So anyways, she meets this guy, and she has a delay, and she can't get home. So he's like, let's just take trips. Let's just go drive places and go all around the world. I mean, normally a person just meets somebody, you're going to think this guy's crazy. I would never go anywhere with this person. But instead, she gets in the car with him, and she literally drives around the country, and they're taking pictures, and they're blogging, and everything about their life. And at some point, they're very hippie-esque.
Hippies.
Yes.
Total hippies.
And at some point...
Did you ever notice that hippies get themselves into like crazy situations? Yes. Hippies always, they're like vagabonds.
Yes. And some point they go and they stay at
John McAfee's house. I know
they meet him.
I know this part of the story. So how this guy meets McAfee is he is a big supporter of the crypto verge. Okay, apparently there's and here's Snary just getting into this crypto world, so excuse us if we're not like master literate crypto.
We're very newbie to it.
Trading geniuses. We're just I mean, I know what the Bitcoin is, and now I know what Steem is. That's the extent of my crypto.
And I still don't fully understand it, honestly. And you could probably tell me 3 times over, and I wouldn't get it 100%.
I am a trader. I have traded, so like I know how to trade this stuff if I want to. I don't know if I'm going to get into it, but I will tell you this, that I was very intrigued by Bitcoin when it first came out. Yeah. I wanted to like invest in it, but it was too many steps for me to invest in, and boy, am I fucking sorry I didn't, because when I looked at it, it was $7 in Bitcoin. And like if you look at the index that we have linked below, you guys can see now that it is at like 9,500. But apparently like everybody's like, oh, Bitcoin's dead. Bitcoin's dead. And the funny thing is like
fear, because before it was like this
it was up to
uncovered gem.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
like this is the thing.
Now
with
everybody and their
currency,
mother knows about it.
It's got to find its range. It'll go shoot straight up to the sky, and then it'll go straight down, and then it'll find at some point it finds an equilibrium, and it becomes the price of the Bitcoin. Right. But it's brand new, so like people were just shot the fucking thing straight up to the moon. I mean, like 12,000 for a Bitcoin. Give me a fucking break. If you're investing,
you think it's gonna shoot right back down.
Yeah, I know, but like right now, like even at 9,500, which is where I see one Bitcoin at, I'm like, fuck you, that is not the price. I would short the shit out of it. Just my advice. You don't have to follow it, but I would short the shit out of Bitcoin right now. And I would make a shit ton of money, because not one Bitcoin could be worth. I know I'm getting too.
Let's not go stocky here.
Maybe I can get another episode by myself talking about that. Yeah, like I'm snoring at you. Like I'm snoring at one end of the story, and she's snoring at the other end of the story.
Right, because mine is like real life, and yours is all
so McAfee. So back because I'm talking about crypto. But
so
like,
speaking of, no, what I was just gonna say.
Let me move over. Go ahead.
Move over.
Go ahead.
Move over.
Okay, go ahead.
No, so what I was gonna say to you, like Al and I constantly have these, discussions, he's for this whole crypto, I just kind of learned about it and didn't really know exactly what it was. And he was explaining it to me one night, and I'm like, okay, so this digital money in the middle of nowhere, and we're buying it with real physical money, and why would I want to do that?
Right, like it's like money in itself could be a whole nother episode.
Like I already have money. Why do I want to buy money?
But money is just a belief, is all it is like the belief that it actually is worth something. So if you trick enough people to actually believe that it's worth something, it then becomes worth something. But that's another episode.
Right, and that's still how I never understand it. Like to me, I don't know, maybe because I'm more about physical, being able to grab onto something and say, this is really here.
That's not
and everything's becoming this digital.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
We're not going there anymore. Like it's gone. It's gone. That we gotta let it die.
But I mean, I do have to say, at least, I mean, I use more credit card than I use actual physical cash.
Right. It's
so
scary
I mean, I
because it's
understand
new.
in that sense, credit card kind of being, I guess maybe in my mind, I think credit card, I think, crypto, just because it's actually not physical.
Look at the way PayPal is perfectly acceptable now. Do you remember when PayPal first came in the 90s on eBay?
Right.
And people were like, I don't want to use PayPal.
Why would I want to use?
That's scary. That's on the internet. Why can't I just use my credit card over the internet? PayPal's stupid. It's a dumb idea. It'll never catch on. Meanwhile, Tesla, or Elon Musk was the guy who's behind PayPal, or bought into it huge, and look what it did for him. That was PayPal, and now it's huge, and you can go anywhere and it says PayPal on your
and we're gonna have
machines.
A discussion about him on one of these.
And
podcasts.
We're gonna talk about machines on another discussion. Yeah. You got a lot of things to go through today.
And we're gonna talk about talking and breathing.
I love breathing.
So let's reel it back in where we're at.
So we have these
there's
discussions. Money, like crypto. And so it's hard for her to understand like crypto actually being money.
It really is.
And the thing is you can convert it
like
easily.
Monopoly
I mean,
money.
it's not so easy. Like there are a lot of steps to convert crypto into like cash. There really is a lot of like steps involved.
Right.
But once you learn the steps, and then is it that hard after you've learned them? I mean, that's the thing. Like,
well, no, but I guess I haven't learned the steps. I really don't understand them yet.
PayPal, people didn't understand the steps into PayPal, and they were like, this will never catch on because there's like 2 or 3 steps on PayPal. And now you see it at local registers, and you pay with PayPal.
It's like, wow, I'm a little more secure than I was when I started out by putting my credit card online to be open for any store to be hacked.
Yeah, like it's all numbers. I mean, like it's crazy because if you think about it, all of our accounts are going to be digital, and all the numbers in our accounts actually hold some type of tangible value. I mean, like if you think about it, and you're somebody that comes from the past and goes in time to the future, and then looks at it like a screen that says you have the digits that you see on the screen, and I was from the past, I'd be like, how about showing me the cash? Like, where's the money in my hand? Like, I don't believe
yeah,
in
this was even before we had online checking. You know what I mean?
But that's
what
I'm saying about crypto. Like crypto's gonna be that.
And I get it, we're going to that world. But right now it's scary because, and this is why I tell you, it's scary because there's no, like, with cash, there's regulations and rules and how things can be run. You know, the government has,
and it's kind of like unregulated.
This is
not
very
a lot of
unregulated.
Laws. There's not a lot of laws.
Scary.
It's the Wild West of currency. It's
is.
the Wild West of currency. Like if you're getting in right now and you take advantage of it, you will find a way where you can make money. And a lot of people are saying, well, what? Money on the back of what? Other people's expenses? Like, am I making money on other people's hopes and dreams? On some of these cryptos, yeah. Like on some of these cryptos, it's like a fucking Ponzi. Like most of these cryptos,
I mean, and
like
that's kind of what we are talking about here. We're going to get right back to it in just a moment.
What brings legitimacy to the currency, though? Like, what do you think?
That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, explain it to me because I've read about it, I've heard about it.
You know, from the infancy of its beginning of currency, like the only thing that made currency like legitimate was how many people believe in it. Like how many people
because
believe
originally
in
it started with gold. Like currency started.
Well, gold
you
was
had to have something to back it up.
Gold was an easy one because we could physically look at it and see that it was shiny, and we were like, "Ooh, that's shiny, and this shit looks great, so it must be worth something." You know, like as we evolved, currency became paper. Right. So it went from shiny to paper.
But the shiny backed up the paper.
The shiny used to back up the paper. So we were like, well, that's fine. But at some point, they pulled the rug from us, and they were like, "Fuck this! It's not really attached to gold anymore, and it's more attached to the value that is given within the marketplace." So the marketplace determines pretty much the price of the currency based upon how much you believe in the currency, and the currency is tied to political conditions. The currency is tied to oil. The currency is tied to actual some fixed assets. And the thing is like, but there was enough people in the beginning to believe that the cash was worth something in order for it to be the currency that it is. The legitimacy came because we could feel and touch the cash. You know, it was like tangible, and it was like, okay, well, I guess I do have something. I have paper. But as like time moved forward, and like we get into the 90s, and PayPal hits, and all those kind of like digital currencies start to hit, and then crypto
was kind of the
hits.
Beginning of it.
This is like the beginning of going from gold to cash, and now it's going from cash to digital. Do you know what I'm saying? Like now, some people are like, well, no, it'll never do that because we're scared of the internet. We're scared of like. And that goes away because of the generations. Like my kids don't give a shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't understand what we. But to me, I don't look at.
You're like, our kids don't understand anything.
They really don't.
Like,
they
oh
really
my
don't.
God.
Well, I mean, look what we created for them.
Monsters.
That's a whole nother story.
That'll be an episode and a half, at least 3.
No, but I look at PayPal more as, you know,
another bank account.
No, I look at it as a wall, like
a wall.
Yeah, we'll go on that one
oh my God, Trump would agree with you.
No, like another border of protection. Sorry.
Another border of protection. Oh, yes. so like
no, like it's okay. So
you feel like I'm
buying
more
something
secure.
Online.
It's more secure. PayPal's more secure.
Yes,
than crypto.
because you have to go through 2 walls rather than 1 wall to find out what somebody's information.
Well, you also
is.
have to believe in the creator. I mean, with the crypto, you have to believe behind the creator and their mission statements and what it is that they're saying that the currency is based off of. Like, how are they creating the currency? How are they actually? I mean, you say it's not regulated, but in a way, it is regulated.
How can it be regulated?
It's not regulated by the governments. It's regulated by the people that create it. So you really have to understand the creator.
That person can be
you have to investigate. So you have to do your research on the person.
How do you investigate when most of these are new? I mean, it's still very new.
Most of the people who created these cryptos are semi-famous people. So you can actually go on Google and type in their name and what it is that they have done in the past. You can see their like, you know, their history as far as like, what does this guy like come out of a basement?
There's a lot of unknown people backing some of these.
Is this guy know about business? Is he an entrepreneur or not?
But like you said, you know, there are some well-knowns like McAfee.
Yeah, McAfee.
Going back to
the point of the whole reason why we're talking about this. That it's interesting talking about crypto. Sorry, we'll do like another episode.
It is. I mean, you can
that.
go on for hours about that.
Forever.
As we probably already
have gone
That's
too
right.
far on it. But
so we're gonna get back to Gio and him telling us the story.
So
he originally tells us the story.
This guy that ended up marrying our friend's friend got invited. He's a very popular person on Twitter. I'm sorry right now I don't have it. Maybe I can plug it in.
We should probably state.
I'll ask Gio if we can put that in the Twitter account. Like this is something we think is fun to tell you guys because it's,
or at least very, I don't know if you want to say fun, but like very intriguing in it.
Yeah, like because McAfee, if you go to McAfee's we'll put McAfee's Twitter on there. Maybe you guys, you know, can actually
and his commercial.
Look at that as well.
I mean, that alone tells you how
his
crazy
commercial,
this
we'll
story
put the link
could
behind.
be true.
Yeah, he has like a funny kind of commercial on there, which I think is hilarious. But he plays this like kind of weird, creepy player who snorts coke and you know, got all these half naked girls running around and stuff. And McAfee's kind of like this dangerous rogue kind of pirate character, you know, like he's like Johnny Depp, but an older
but
version of Johnny Depp.
Creeper
scary
fashion.
kind of, but yeah. And,
like,
and
he kind of reminds me of Norman Bates a little bit. Like,
Norman
you know,
Bates.
like I hear him saying mother. I don't know. He just has that creepy look to him.
And again, if McAfee's listening after I've heard the story, let me just apologize right now, McAfee.
Great guy.
Yeah, right. But like, so here's the story. 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Brady. 16 minutes and 30 seconds later, they basically get in touch on Twitter. So
wait, so we tell them how. Okay, so Gio actually calls her after he already kind of tells us the story. So Gio calls the person who, you know, at the beginning we told you how she met McAfee.
How many people out there do you think are screaming, "Get to the point, people! We've been listening to you for 17 minutes."
Yeah,
yes,
but you're like Z's. You're like all over.
Right. I am. So keep going.
So he calls this friend who he told us the story about, how she had met that guy at the airport. They went off everywhere together, all around the country. Met McAfee, you know, stayed with McAfee for 2 weeks in his home.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
well, because he was connected somehow to the cryptocurrency.
And I know this is the guy was a big advocate behind Verge, which is another form of crypto. And he was a big Twitter. He had a huge Twitter following,
right? And
people listened.
And
to
he
this
would
guy.
reinforce and
right. And so like
give them publication.
John, he said John reached out to him on Twitter and direct messaged him, and they started this conversation back and forth until finally they got to know one another on Twitter. And McAfee says, "Hey, come on over to my house."
And stay for 2 weeks, basically.
Well, but they didn't plan on staying at all.
But they were kind of.
This is the craziest part about the story. So they go there, and the wife is like, "Hey," knocking on the door with you know, the homeboy that's got the Verge, and McAfee's like person, like his help answers or something, you know, because I guess he's got like a pretty big house.
Okay,
down in Tennessee.
He's got some money.
Which I never went to. I think I went to Tennessee once, but it's not. I don't remember it as maybe because I was young. I don't remember it at all.
Going back.
Yeah, I was probably pretty drunk. I probably don't remember a goddamn thing.
So they go and stay with McAfee. So for 2 weeks.
Right, but McAfee basically fucked with them when they got to the door, and McAfee's like, "I don't know you guys." And I was
and I didn't hear any of this. I was busy, you know.
I was talking to her on the phone. I was talking to this girl on the phone. She's very sincere.
Told us the story. She
had no reason to lie about any of this, but you know, basically fucked with the dude and said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then McAfee says, "Oh, I'm just fucking with you. Come on in."
Right.
And, you know, basically like the calamity of the situation starts to kind of go out of control because apparently like.
So they stay for 2 weeks. Go ahead.
The first night that they were there, you know, basically like McAfee's like, "All right, well, you guys can stay at my house. Go ahead." And he just left them to go to into his bedroom and they were out there like, "Are we really going to spend the night at John McAfee's house? This is like ridiculously insane that in fact it was ridiculously insane for them initially to just go to John McAfee's house, let alone now they're staying overnight. And then the next day, like they were asking to help, like, what should we do as far as the rules for this place? And actually, McAfee had asked them to stay there for the week. He's like, hey, how about you stay for me with the week? And McAfee's huge into, promoting currencies right now. He's kind of like the outlaw when it comes to, the cool kind of, or at least he has that public kind of like cool like outlaw demeanor who's supporting the crypto right now. His attitude and his thing goes with the currency right now. It's kind of like that bravado.
But what was the one that he's promoting? Like,
well, he's promoting all, and that's the thing. He's a promoter of all the currencies, as many currencies
but his currency,
as well.
There was a specific currency that they.
Well, Verge was the currency that they were dealing with, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not McAfee's crypto, and it's not our friend's crypto. He didn't make Verge. Verge is just, and I'm sorry, I'm not certain about the history of Verge. But our friend's friend was a huge stakeholder in Verge, and he was an advocate behind it. And McAfee was basically a promoter of all these cryptos. So like he wanted to bring him over, I think, for the intention of like, hey, I'll support your Verge since you're into it and you own the Verge and you will benefit because once I get behind
and
it,
they were getting up there.
Once I get behind the Verge will go up in value, right?
Right, and it was happening.
And they both wanted to be investors of it and kind of be behind that and make and profit from it, or at least I don't know.
I thought he initially gave them some crypto.
I'm theorizing all of this. Like I mean, this is what I would think that they would be talking about, right? God knows what they were actually talking about. They could be talking about like, fucking how's your bourbon? You know what I mean? Like as much as that. But like I think what ended up happening, or at least what she told me in the story, was that John basically was on a kind of a crazy drug binge the entire week.
Yeah, there's lots of rumors about all the drug
maybe that there was like some type of like with John was going a little nuts.
Yeah, I mean, watch his video. I love the Coke video.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it in the video too. Like he's a little bit. He's promoting his real life on his commercial.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm Charlie Sheen too.
You guys check that out. And it's a satirical commercial, but like it might be a little true.
Like he was laughing about it, and me, I was kind of like, this is just really weird and creepy. What is going on here? I don't understand it.
And the wife was scared. She was like, she was told by John that the neighbors next door. John believed that the neighbors next door were out to get him. So I'm pretty sure this had to do something with the drugs.
Of paranoia.
The paranoia was setting in with John. So anyhow, these two get to know each other. They become friends, or they follow each other on Twitter, and because of the association of it, the Verge goes up in price value. Right. So the Verge starts to go up in price just because Homeboy's hanging out with McAfee. And it continues to go up. Well, I think that makes McAfee mad. So McAfee tells them basically, or tells the dude, hey, if you don't give me $50,000 right now, basically for what has happened to the price and becoming the promoter, like the official promoter of Verge, if you don't give me $50,000 right now, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hack into your account.
And take all your money.
I don't know how Verge works.
Right.
And I don't know if it's any close to Steam. And basically Steam is your prices in your account.
We don't know enough, guys. We're not even.
But I will tell you one thing. If McAfee, a security designer, who created an antivirus program and is a master coder.
Right, master hacker.
And tells me that he's going to hack my account, I'm pretty certain
he can do it.
That he's going to do that. And I would be very upset, and I'd be very worried. Well, if that had happened to me, I'd be like, okay, here's your $50,000 because I don't even want to deal with it, and he's whacked out on drugs, But our friend says he counter sabotages him, and he says, if you don't give me $50,000, because he gets pissed off and very well deserved pissed off against fucking McAfee. I would be pissed off as well. If somebody said they're basically gonna fuck me over, right? I would be pissed off. Right. So Homeboy acts out of that, like he's like pissed, and he goes like he doesn't think about the fact that McAfee's like this master of this master hacker. Yeah, and he says, "Well, I'm gonna
big man.
You give me $50,000, or I'm gonna tell everybody what you just told me." Right? Well, that doesn't happen because the next day he gets locked out of everything, and he's out.
He loses
He's done.
All the money.
He loses
how much money? Do you remember how much?
I don't know.
Was?
It was in the hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands at that point.
And he had quite a bit. And man, could you imagine? And there's no real laws that I know of against crypto. Maybe I should research this.
They're trying to figure out how to fight it.
And maybe you guys
know
more out there in the crypto world, but like I don't think there's really any truly laws, any ways you can fight it, which is the scary part about the crypto. That's what she said.
She's like, we don't have a way of. And I only heard a little bit. I heard the beginning and the end of her saying, "Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just a story now for us because we can't do anything. We can't change this.
We can't do anything about it." And they were, and John McAfee ended up smearing them, and like this guy, his whole crypto worth on the verge was ruined. I hope he had something else.
Right.
What a horrible loss. What a horrible loss that would be. Like,
but they found each other and all.
They found each other, and that's worth how much ever crypto that was worth. So yeah, McAfee, an internet crypto thief, like
a pirate.
Yar, I'll be taking ye crypto with me over me long dead shivering sword. No, sorry,
that's a little too.
Yeah, I love doing the pirate voice. He
proved there was a way of pirating crypto.
Well, I mean, like, he's a hacker. He doesn't even need to pirate. Right. He just basically went in and stole it, and that's the crazy thing is like he's just it's crazy for me to think that, but not too crazy of a story to believe in because the girl sounded like wholesome and nice.
She did. I mean, she
was very sincere when she was talking about the story.
She was a great.
From what I've seen just in the satirical commercials that McAfee did, he looked like he was living the life. Man.
He's sticking his nose all over in coke. Women are all over him.
I think he's like, he is like, he wants that fame again, and now he's like, if you look at his Twitter account, he's like Mr. Famous Crypto Man. And
he's still a creeper.
You think he's still a creeper?
Yes.
Yeah, but even if he's a pirate now, like he's still the creeper. He got promoted to like this piratey guy.
He's creeper.
But what if he was like older captain pirate guy that was like a swashbuckler? Then what would you think?
Still
creepy. Creepy.
He's so creepy. His treasure of Bitcoin that he's gotten now.
There was something so funny about the way you said that. You were just like, still creepy as fuck.
He's really like it. Just watch his video. Just watch his commercial.
You guys draw your own
conclusions.
What? You guys draw your own.
Maybe if he was like this good-looking younger guy doing that video.
I wouldn't say. To be fair though, this guy is a probably a coding genius. Or at least a marketing genius.
He's evidently a cocaine genius too. His videos show
So you guys tell us what you think down in the comments below. We appreciate you guys watching and listening. I say watching because I'm so used to videos.
Yeah, he
listening
is a
to the podcast.
YouTuber.
The podcast is so cool. I'm having a good time.
I like this.
I really like this. Do. This is so fun. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna talk next week. Let's see what's next week's or next topic.
You know what we're gonna talk about?
What
we had at the grocery store today. The deal with the chip.
Oh, the machines. Oh, we're gonna go from McAfee being a thief and we're talking about crypto.
Credit card chips.
So we're gonna start talking about the next one is
technology.
credit card chips. I like these next two episodes. We might have more episodes together.
Even the porn was technology. We're going across the board of technology. We're like Black Mirroring it.
From titties to tech, WTF FTW. we take care of it all. And thank you. Thank you very much for listening to us, and we will see you guys, or hear you guys, or listen to you guys, or use one of the senses. Touch you, we'll touch you guys on the next episode.
Babe, we're going back to Creeper again.
God, I'm going McAfee.
Really bad.
I'm going straight McAfee. Like, I should make shirts. That would be great. WTF FTW, straight McAfee.
Straight out of McAfee.
Straight out of McAfee. Straight out of McAfee.
See you guys.